I welcome you to this video. In this video, I'll be showing you how to create corner window in Revit. And at the end of this video, you should be able to learn how to create a corner window like this. And if you are new to my channel, on this channel, I create content on how to use Revit Architecture, how to use Lumion, how to use AutoCAD, and other design software. And if you like what I do, make sure you subscribe to my channel and ring the notification bell so that anytime I upload videos like this that will help you upgrade your skills on how to design, you'll be notified that hey, Acting Consult has uploaded another video, and you watch and upgrade your design skills. All right, without wasting your time, let's get started. To model a corner window in Revit family, you will go to the application menu at the top right corner of your interface, of the Revit interface. Then click on New and go to Family. If your Revit is loaded well during the installation, you should be able to see all these. But in case you do not see all these, it means that your Revit did not load well during the installation. In that case, what you will do is to start from an existing window. If you have a window already in your project, if you have any project that has a window, you can start from there. You can simply delete what has been created before and return it to the default setting here before you start your work. Okay, but since my own Revit was loaded well during the installation, I am going to start from default now. So what you do is, while you are in this default template, you look for window. You look for window. This is window. So I'm going to select that window.rft and click open. Okay, so it has opened. The next thing we will do is we want to make sure that the dimension we are using here are in metric system, because I'm not very familiar with imperial system. So I'm going to change the unit to metric system, and I'm going to do that by going to manager, by manage, the manage tab. Then you see project unit here. Click on it and you see length, take it to millimeter and hit OK. Hit OK twice, and that is that. Now we have it in millimeter. Okay, the next thing you will do is, let's look at it in 3D. This is the default as we have it in Revit, but we want it a corner window. So we'll go here first. We'll go to the reference level, which is the same as the floor plan. And what we are going to do is we are going to create a reference plane, and I will select one of the reference plane and create similar. Then I'm going to go towards the interior and draw a reference plane. Okay, then I'm going to add a dimension to it. I'm going to add a dimension to it, and this dimension, I'm going to select it. Then if you go to the top, you see create parameter, and on this parameter I'm going to add width 2. That means we have width 1 and width 2. So this is width 2. Then this one is going to be width 1. So let me add parameter to it and name it width 1. Because it's a corner window, it's going to have 2 widths. Okay, so that we'll be able to change it. There are times we reduce with 1 and there are times we reduce with 2. All right. Okay, the next thing we'll do is we are going to remove this sketch, this open, because the one we want to use is going to be corner. It's going to open at a corner, and because of that we will not use this. So if you hover your cursor on this opening, you will be able to select the opening and delete it, because we don't need it. This is not a flat window, this is a corner window. So we are going to open it in another way that I'm going to show you now. And the way we will open it is we are going to create void extrusion. So create void extrusion. While you're on create, select void, then click on the drop down and select void extrusion. And I can select a rectangle. Then I am going to sketch something like a square, or a rectangle rather, and I am going to lock it to this reference plane and also lock it to this reference plane, constrain it to this reference plane, and we also need another reference plane somewhere here. We need another reference plane here. Let me create another one. Before I create another one, let me exit from this edit mode. Let me finish it for now. Then I'm going to create a reference plane somewhere here, and if I like, I can give it a dimension and lock it. Then I am going to stretch this to this reference plane and lock it. Then I am going to, if you look at it in 3D now, you see that this extrusion, this void extrusion does not cut this wall. So to be able to open the wall, you need to click on cut, then click on the extrusion before you click on the wall. Now it has opened the wall. Okay, then we can go to the elevation, one of the elevation. Let's zoom to fit so that we can see our work. Okay, now I am going to drag it to the top. You look at it here, the seal height. Okay, let me reduce the scale so that we can see the right up clearly. Okay, so this is the seal height and this is the width. You can see that this one has not gone to the top, so I'm going to drag it to the top reference plane and constrain it. Then the lower one also should be constrained to the lower one. Let me constrain it to the lower one. Okay, and let's see it in 3D. You can now see that it has opened the wall. Okay, let's try and test it before we proceed so that we know that what we are doing is working. Okay, Before I load it into the project, I would like to give it a name. I would like to save it. Let me save it first. So I'll go to application menu, save as, family, then I can save it in this family folder. I will give it a name as corner window Revit tutorial. I will give it a name as corner window family tutorial in Revit. Okay, that is the name. Then I am going to click on the option and the backup should be 1. Then hit save. Now I can load it into the project now. Since I have known its name now, I can now load it into the project. Okay. Alright, so you can see that it is working perfectly. It is working perfectly. I've dropped it on this corner and it has cut the corner open. It has cut the corner open. But let's see whether we can manipulate the parameter. You can see we have width, and we have width 2. Okay, the width 1 does not reflect. Instead of width 1 we have width. Okay, but that is not a problem. I'm going to fix it later. So what if we increase this one to 1200? What is going to happen? And we reduce this one to 600. What is going to happen? Let's see what will happen. Okay, you can see that it has one of the side I have reduced. Okay, let's go to the floor plan. Let me go to the floor plan, the ground floor plan. Where did we have? Okay, this is where we have the window. You can see it here. Okay, now this is the proper way it should be. You can see what we have. It has opened the corner, but we don't have mullion and glass yet. Okay, so we are going to try to add glass to it now and mullion as well. Okay, let's go back to it. Let's go back to it. Okay, all right. That's something I need to do quickly. In the reference plane, in the reference level, I am going to bring this one closer. Let me bring it closer so that the opening on that end will not be much. Okay, that is that. Then we need a mullion. We need a mullion. Okay, and that means the mullion is going to go in an angular manner. So what I would do is I am going to create an extrusion, and this time around it's not extrusion, a void extrusion, but it's a solid extrusion, and I am going to create it here and constrain it to these reference planes. We have constrain them to this reference plane, and I also, okay, let me constrain this one to the center. All right, then I can finish it and look at it in 3D. This is what we have. Then let's go to one of the elevations. So I can drag it up. I can drag it up and lock it. I want it to be locked to reference plane. Let me try and use align. Okay, align is better, because if I just drag it, I may not be sure of what I'm locking it to. I want to be sure I'm locking it to this reference plane, because if I lock it to this wall, at the end we are going to have some issue. So let me use align to be able to lock it to the reference plane. Okay, we cannot use align here. Okay, let's try. We have locked it to that reference plane. Okay, you can see now. You can see what we have is a cuboid. It's a cuboid. Okay, and this cuboid, we can adjust the parameter. As we adjust the parameter of the window, it will increase. For instance, if I go to type and increase this one and reduce this one to 1000, then reduce the width, or increase this one to 1000 as well, then everything 1000. Let's see what is going to happen. You see now that everything has maintained, which means it's working perfectly. Okay, so the first thing I will do is I am going to hide this one. You go to this temporary hide / isolate and hide element. Okay, so we now have only the box. So to be able to create your mullion, you go to create, and we will be using sweep to create this kind of extrusion. And you know that the mullion is going from here like this, and it's going down like that. It's going like this, okay. So, and we are going to be using extrusion sweep to do that. So what I will do now is I'm going to pick part. Instead of picking a sketch part, I'm going to pick part. This one is 3D. We are picking 3D part. So I'll use this, and the first one I will pick is this, so that I will be able to create my profile on this place. And that is that. Let's finish it. And to edit your profile, go to edit profile, and here I can go to the top. And let's just draw an arbitrary rectangle for now without precision. It's just an arbitrarily rectangle without precision. We are going to give it precision later. I'm not going to constrain it yet. I want to see what I've done before I constrain it. Okay, let's finish it. Let's see our 3D. Okay, you can see what we have just created. You can see what we have created. Now let's unhide the wall we hide before. Okay, and let's load it into the project and see what we have just done, if it's going to match with what we want to create. It's going to match with what we want to create. Does the mullion go in the direction we want it to go? Okay, it did not go in the direction. Is on the opposite end. The mullion is supposed to go this way, so I'm going to reverse it. I'm going to reverse the mullion. The mullion is expected to, so I'm going to edit the mullion, edit sweep, and pick path. I'm going to remove all these. I'm going to remove all these. Okay, so pick path is supposed to go this way, and that way, then this way. Then let's finish it and let's load it into the project now and override existing. Okay, let's go to the floor plan, and this is what we have here. I'm going to remove all this. It's going in the wrong direction. This is not the direction it's supposed to go. Pick path, like that, like that, like that. Pick 3D path. make sure what you are picking is the edge of the rect of the cuboid is what you are picking. Let me isolate this, let me hide this so that I'll be able to see the edge of the cuboid. Edit sweep and pick part. Yeah, okay, then I finish it. Okay, so I can now see the edge of my cuboid and pick it appropriately. Okay, now let's go to the floor plan, the reference level. This is what we have. So to be able to specify the width of the mullion, I will need another reference plane somewhere here that I'll be able to lock it to. Then I also need another reference plane here, and I am going to specify the width. The width can be 60 mm, and I'm going to lock it. Then the same thing will apply to this and lock it as well. All right, that is that. Then I'm going to edit the mullion we have before. I'm going to go to 3D and edit this. This time around, I'm going to constrain it. Now I'm going to go to the top. I will go to the top. This is the top. Okay, if I go to the top, I cannot see my reference plane. I need to be on the floor plan to be able to see my reference plane. Okay, so I am going to constrain it to this reference plane and constrain it to this reference plane as well, and lock it. Then I also need another reference plane somewhere here to define the width. Okay, and if I don't do that, I can as well use this one to define the width. The width can be 50 mm, and I need the dimension. If I fix a dimension, I make sure what I've selected is reference plane by pressing on tab. Then I can constrain this, and let's finish it and see what we have created. Let's finish it. Go to 3D and see what you have just created for yourself. Okay, this is the mullion we have just created. It's nice. And let's hide what we have hidden before and see the direction we are going. Okay, this is not bad, this is okay. And let's load it into the project and see what is going to happen. Okay, now what if let me go to the floor plan and can mirror it without copy. The the mullion is not in the direction I want it to be. Let me press my space bar. It still does not go in the direction I want it to be. At this point, I can mirror it and don't select copy. Okay, now the mullion is in the direction I want it to be. Now I want it to follow along the wall, and if I like, I can align it to the center. Oh, aligning it to the center does not work. Let me align it to the edge. Let me align it to the edge and see whether it's going to cut the wall. Let's see in 3D. It does not cut the wall at where it's supposed to cut the wall. Does not open the wall. Okay, maybe it's because of the cuboid that is still visible. Let's see. Let's try and hide the cuboid. Let's try and hide the cuboid, the cube. So I'll select this cube and click on hide element. Now let's load it into the project now. And okay, it still does not open where I want it to open. Okay, let me see it in 3D. Okay. Okay, I'm going to adjust the void extrusion. I'm going to adjust the void extrusion, and let's edit the family. Look at it in 3D, and I've selected void extrusion. Edit it, go to the reference level. This side that you are going to have mullion, you are expected to take it out a little bit beyond the mullion, so that it will be able to open that wall very well. So, and at this point, we need a reference plane. We need a reference plane on that side. So let me create a reference plane and add a dimension to it. Dimension is, let's make it 219, 300. Let's make it 300 and constrain it. Then also let this one be 300 as well, so that it will be able to open the wall very well. 300, so that anywhere it is, it will be able to open the wall. All right, now let's edit the void extrusion. Now let's constrain it to this. Okay, now let's look at it in 3D now. Okay, this is better now. Let's load it into the project. Override. This is what we want. This is exactly what we want. Okay, now we have been able to create this mullion, and let's create more mullion. Let's edit family and select the mullion and give it a material. If you like, you can click here, create another parameter like mullion, so that any material that is mullion will have that same material, and click OK. Click OK. Alright, then let's look at it in 3D. Let's unhide what we have hidden before. This mullion look thick. Okay, it's okay, it's not bad, because I'm going to be using I can delete this one now because I don't need it again. I only need it to create this. Okay, I will need it for my glass. Let me undo that. I can only hide it for now. When I'm done, I can hide it permanently. Okay, at this point I need glass. I need glass at this point. I need glass, and to be able to create that glass, I am going to hide this. I'm going to hide this. So my glass is going to go like this, and to create that glass, I am going to use extrusion. I will go to reference level and create extrusion and create a rectangle, and like that, and create another one. Then trim them like this. And remove this. Then I'm going to be constraining it now. Constrain this to this reference plane, and constrain this one to this reference plane. Then the width, I want it to stay outside of the mullion. Rather, I want it to stay outside of the wall. I want it to be outside of the wall. So I'm going to add dimension to it. From here to here should be like 112.5. That's half of a wall. Okay, and constrain it, and that means we are always going to be using it with 225 wall. This one is 12 mm, which is okay. That's the thickness of a glass. And also I need from here, from this reference plane to this should be 112.5, 112.5, and constrain it. Then the width of the glass should be 12 mm, and constrain it. Okay, then let's finish it and go to one of the elevations so that we can lock the height. The height should be constrained to this reference plane, and the bottom should also be constrained to this reference plane, and the material should be glass. the material should be glass. And let's look at it in 3D. Let's change it, the visual style to shaded. Okay, we have the glass there. Okay. All right, so I need a mullion to cover the glass. I need the mullion to stay on the glass, and to be able to do that, I'm going to edit the mullion. I'm going to edit the mullion, the profile of the mullion, and go to reference plane and take it up, remove constraint for now, then and I can lock this dimension 130, and finish it. Then this one, I don't want it to be too thick. I don't want this to be too thick. I want it to be something like 10 mm or 20 mm, or let me make it 1 inch, 25 mm. Then I will lock it. This one also should be 25 mm. And constrain it. Now let's see what we have. Okay, so that is our mullion and the glass. Correct. The mullion is on top of the glass. Now let's load it into our project and see what we are going to have. Okay, this is what we have. So I can go to the floor plan and move it. I can even use a line. Let's save the project. I can use a line to align this to this wall so that the glass will stay outside of the wall. That is curtain wall type. Let me remove this window for now so that we can see what we are doing. Okay, now what if I want to increase the height? What is going to happen if I increase the height to 1800? What is going to happen? Is it going to break? It doesn't break. Okay, so it is working perfectly. Okay, now at this point I need to add more mullion to it. Okay, and I can also break the glass so that I can slice the glass so that the glass will open a little bit. That is curtain wall type. And to do that, I will go to the family editor and create more reference plane. And this reference plane I am going to center it between these and this and make sure they are equal. They are always equal. Okay, then I am going to edit the glass. I'm going to edit the glass because I want to open it and go to the reference level, then add the line to it, add another line to it, then add another line here and another line here. Then I am going to split it. Okay, then let me trim it. Then I'm going to add dimension to it. Let me reduce the scale so that I can see what I'm doing clearly. Scale 1 to 5 or scale 1 to 2. Okay, better. Then I'm going to grab this and 10 mm. Okay, it's okay. I'm going to constrain that one. Then this one should be 10 mm as well. 10 and constrain it. Then this one should be 10 mm and constrain it. Let's reduce this one to 10 mm. And let me make sure I constrain it before I finish. Constrain it. Okay. Let's look at it in 3D and finish it. Okay. Then let's load it into the project. Let's see it in our project. Correct. The glass is working perfectly. What if we increase it? What is going to happen? Is it going to break? I increase this one to 1800. The reason we are doing this is so that at any point in time we can always increase the size of our window without breaking the family. Okay, let's look at it in 3D. It's perfectly okay. It's perfectly okay. All right, then I need more mullion on more horizontal mullion on this end. So I am going to still edit the family further, and this time around I need it on the elevation. I need it on the elevation. Exterior, okay. Okay, I need it. Let me see where I want to create it exactly so that I'm not going to make mistake. Okay, now we are on the back elevation, and while on the back elevation we need it on the right. We need it here. So if I click exterior, we need it on this side. I want to cross this one twice. Assuming I want to cross it twice, what do? I click on, okay, to be able to select the face, let me go to 3D and make sure I select the glass. Selected the glass and edit. Then while in editing mode, so what I would do to be able to open that, because I can no longer open the glass on the plan, because the only way I can open it on the plan is this vertical one. So with the horizontal one, the only thing I can do is to use a void extrusion. So to be able to do that, I will create a reference plane. I will create a reference plane. RP for reference plane, that's the shortcut for reference plane. Let me create 2 and add more reference plane here. Add more reference plane here, and I can align it without locking it. I'll align it without locking it. Then I am only going to use dimension to lock it to that reference plane. Okay, now that is that. Then I am going to lock this one and make sure they are equal and lock the equality. If you don't want them to be equal, then you are going to add the parameter. But for now, let's leave it equal. Then the next thing is to use a void extrusion to open it. Void extrusion, and I'm going to use line and draw another one, and let's align this to that reference plane. Align this one to this reference plane, then align this to that reference plane and lock it. Align this to this reference plane and also lock it. All right, all of them are locked. Okay, then I can add dimension to it to make sure they are the width we want them to be. Let me not join the dimension together. Okay, so all of them should be 10 mm, 10 mm, and lock it. This one should be 10, and this should be 10 as well, and constrain them. Okay, and Those things are void extrusion. And we want to cut the glass. Let's go to 3D. To be able to cut the glass. Okay, it has not cut the glass yet. What it has cut is the cuboid, and it's not the cuboid we want to cut. Assuming okay, let me undo. And finish it. Then I am going to go to the top and stretch the void. Let's stretch that void and use cut. Grab the, click on the glass, then click on the it has cut the glass now. Let's load it into the project and see. It has cut the glass. Okay, so we have the horizontal version on this end. So let's assume I tamper with the width. Is it going to have effects on the size? Is it going to break? We have to be sure before we proceed. Okay, so everything is working perfectly. It's working perfectly. Okay. Okay, let's go to the floor plan. Everything is working perfectly. Then I will edit it further. So we have the glass opened. What of the other side? If I want to have it on the other side, I want to have the glass open on this side as well. So I'll do the same thing. I need a reference plane here. I need a reference plane there. I'll first of all align it. Okay, before I use dimension to constrain it to this reference plane, and that is that. Then the next thing is to use void extrusion. Then use a rectangle, arbitrarily rectangle, before I add dimension later. So I can add dimension now, and make sure you also constrain this. I also need the reference plane here. I need another reference plane. Let me finish this one for now. I need another reference plane, RP for reference plane, and align it to this. Then use dimension to constrain it, and like that. Okay, then I will edit this and align it to this reference plane, and this, then constrain it like that. All right, then I need to add dimension to it and make it 10 mm the same way we did before. 10 mm, and this one is going to be 10 mm, also 10 mm, and can now constrain it and finish it. Let's finish it for now, then look at it in 3D to see that it has cut the it has not cut the glass yet. And let's go to left, and while it is selected, let's go to 3D. Oh, I cannot see it. Let me go to the top. I'm looking for the void extrusion. Okay, you can see the void extrusion is at the center of this. So to be able to see it, I will okay, so I'm going to make sure I select the void. Okay, I cannot select the void now. Finding it difficult to select the void because let me undo. Now that I've undone it, I can now increase the extrusion end to something like 1200. With that, it will come out of the box. Okay, correct. Now it has come out of the box. It has come out of the box, and click on cut. As you have selected the void, click on cut, then click on void before you click on the glass so that it will cut the glass. Okay, so I believe it has cut the glass now. Oh yes, it has cut the glass. Correct. Okay, let's load it into the project and see what we have done. Let's go to ground floor plan and bring it out and see whether it has cut the yes, correct. That is that. Then the next thing is we need a mullion to block that place. We need a mullion on that end. we have only cut the glass. Now we need a mullion there, so I'm going to create the mullion now. Edit family. Okay, so I need a mullion somewhere here, here and there. Okay, so first I'm going to use extrusion to create those mullion. And before I create the mullion, I'm going to add another. Do I need another reference plane? Yes, I need another reference plane. There's somewhere here. I need another reference plane somewhere here. And constrain it. 71, okay. And I also need another reference plane somewhere here, and also constrain it to this center. Okay, now I can proceed now to creating my mullion now, and I will use create extrusion, and it's going to be mullion. The material will be mullion. Then simply draw and constrain it to this reference plane, and use this to lock it. This one is 15, which is okay. Then this one should be 15 as well. Then I can now constrain. Okay, this is over constraining it. Let me delete the dimension and add the dimension separately. Constrain that. Then constrain that, and that is that. Then this one, let's constrain that to that. This one is already constrained. Okay, then I need another mullion here. Need another mullion. This one should be 15 mm. 15, and constrain it. Then dimension and constrain it to 15 mm. Then I'm going to constrain this one like that. Then I'm going to also constrain, or I use a reference plane so that I'm not going to have problem in future. I don't want to have problem in future. So I'm going to align the reference plane here, then and constrain it. Sorry, undo. I will align it to the reference plane so that I make sure it's aligned to the reference plane. Then I am going to lock the reference plane to this so that they move together. Then for this that I did before, I'm going to unconstrain, then use reference plane to align the reference plane to this mullion and unlock it for now. Then align the mullion to the reference plane and lock it. Then lock the reference plane to reference plane. Now let's finish it. Let's finish it and go to any of the elevations. Go to any of the elevations and stretch this to this. I want this to be to reference plane. Okay, unlock it. I want it to be to reference plane. Unlock it. Okay, now let's look at it in 3D. Okay, so that is that. You can see that what we are seeing here is the mullion and not empty space. Okay, then we need the horizontal mullion. Before that, let's test whether it's going to work. If I reduce this, will it work or will it break? If I reduce it to 1700, okay, it's still working perfectly. Let me hide all this stuff. Because it's blocking our way. Okay, all right. Okay, let me go and create the horizontal mullion. Let me select this family, edit it, and go to exterior. I need a mullion somewhere here, so I'm going to model, create, void, create extrusion and pick a rectangle, then draw, simply draw, and I need it 15 from here and 15 from there. 15, then select that 15 and I need to lock this one to this reference plane. Make sure it is to reference plane and not to the model. Okay, and constrain that. Then I can copy the same thing. Let me select it and paste it here. Cannot paste. Okay, let me draw. You cannot paste. Let me draw another one. Okay, then constrain it to this reference plane and that one to this reference plane. Unlock it. Then the dimension, we need this to be 15 from there, and select this 15 and unlock it. 15, unlock it. Where you are going to lock it is to reference plane. Take it to reference plane before you lock it, and you can lock that, and for this one you take it to this reference plane and lock it so that it will always remain with that reference plane. Then let's finish it. Finish it. If we see it in 3D, let's save our work. To see it in 3D, we cannot see it in 3D. Let me hide this one for now. Let me hide this for now. Hide element. Also, let me hide this one for now. Let me hide this box. Hide element. Okay. Now this is the mullion we have just created. This is the mullion we have just created. And if I go to left side view, I go to left elevation. Okay, I want it to touch the glass. So I'm going to place another reference plane here and align it to this, align it to the glass, and don't lock it. You can only lock it to reference plane. Okay, then I am going to grab this mullion I've just created and snap it to, okay, before I lock it, let me move this one outside so that I'll be able to lock it to this reference plane. And now I can now bring it inside. I want to lock it to this glass. I will not lock it for now. This is the one I will lock because this one is to reference plane. Okay, then I can also move this one to here, to this reference plane, and lock it. Now let's look at it in 3D. Okay, it is not what we want yet. Let's go back and let's edit this on constraint and align it to this. Then this is the one we are going to lock. And now let's look at it in 3D now. Correct. This is what we want. Okay, so we are going to do the same thing. We are going to do the same thing here. So I'm going to go to exterior. Where do we have that elevation? Okay, this is where we have the elevation. So we need a mullion here. All right, is it right elevation? Whichever. That's the right elevation. Yeah, because if you look at it now, this is right. So we need it on the right elevation. So I go to right elevation and simply go to create extrusion and add your extrusion like that and add dimension like we did before, and don't lock it because it is to model element. You don't lock it to model element, you only try to lock it to reference planes. Okay, that is that. If I like, I can remove this dimension. Then I also want to ascertain what is here, and 15. Then this one also should be 15. Then I can remove the dimension. Okay, now I can now add the dimension that I'm going to lock. The dimension I will lock should be to reference plane and not to the model element. This is the dimension I will lock, and I can now align this one to this reference plane and lock it. Then I can align this to this reference plane and lock it. Align this to this reference plane and lock that. Okay, let's finish it for now and look at it in 3D. Okay, you can see that it is outside of the glass. Let's move it to where the glass is. To do that, we need to go to front elevation. We need to go to front elevation. Okay, this is the glass. This is it here. This is the mullion, and this is it. So what to do is I'm going to create two reference plane. Or one is okay. This one should be aligned to this and lock. Then this one should be aligned to this new reference plane I've just created and lock it. Then I'm going to align the reference plane to this model and don't lock it. You are going to place dimension to the reference plane, like to this. Let's put it to this, the one that is already locked. Okay, that is that. Now the material for this should be mullion, and let's see it in 3D and if it is exactly what we want to create. Okay, that is exactly what we want to create. Now let's load it into the project and see whether it is going to respond. Exactly, it's responding to what we want. It's responding to what we want. Okay, what if I want the glass to be a little bit opaque? So I am going to select the glass. Let me select the glass and make it a little bit opaque. The glass, the transparency should be down a little bit. Okay, and alright, let's load it into the project and see. Override existing. Okay, now this is our mullion. We are almost done. The next thing is to remove that box, because I'm done, but I don't like that box. I want to remove the box. So edit family. We are going to hide this box, because we don't want this box to show in our window. We don't need it. We only use it for our work, and we are not going to delete it. What we'll do is we are going to go to visibility setting and off it, so that it will not be visible. It will not be visible in all our views, and click OK. Then we are also going to hide it in our editor. So I'm going to hide it. I'm going to hide it. Okay, so I've hidden it. Now that I've hidden it, I can now load it into the project, and let's override the existing version. You can see it now. Now if we modify the height, let's say I change the width. I change this width to 2400 mm and hit apply. You can see they are all intact. Let me go to my floor and align it to the wall. If I come here and align it to the wall, you will see that everything is working perfectly. Okay, this is it. It's working perfectly. Doesn't break. Whatever you increase here does not break. Okay, so that is how you can create a corner window like this. I can decide to reduce it to 1800 and click OK. Oh yes, let's go to the floor plan and align it properly. Let me align it to the wall. I'll align this edge to the wall. All right. Okay, let me view it in 3D. Oh yes, that is it. That is that. Okay, thank you for watching the video. That is how you can design any corner window in Revit. And if you like the video, make sure you subscribe to my channel and ring the notification bell, so that whenever I upload another video like this that is going to help you, you will be notified that, hey, Acting Consult has uploaded another video, and you watch and update your design skills. Make sure you hit the like button, and see you in the next video. Bye.